Hey guys, welcome back. So today is finally the big day. If you've been following along my vlogs, today is the day that I'm actually going to record the piece that I've been writing for the past few weeks. And I say writing for the past few weeks, but really I wrote the piece in the first week and a half, and I've kind of spent the rest of the time trying to practice and cram it for this recording session. And today I thought I'd give you guys 3 tips that you can use to prepare for your own recording sessions that I find pretty helpful. So the first one is prepare. And that's something I didn't really have in this vlog, is I don't have a lot of prep time. Usually when I record a piece, I like to at least practice it for months if I can, or perform it in public, try to pressure test it before I bring it into the studio. Usually the studio reveals most of the technical flaws that you actually have in a piece. So if possible, I like to, go out, perform it, and kind of live with the piece for a little bit before I commit my interpretation into a recording. In this challenge, I really haven't had that chance, so it's really different for me to get in and try to record a piece that's a little bit shaky underneath my fingers. So when you go into the studio, I always recommend you try to prepare as much as possible to where you just can't get the piece wrong. And that way you'll actually enjoy the recording process. Anytime I've been underprepared for a recording session, it usually turns out to be like the worst experience. It really feels like quicksand. The worse you play, the worse you feel, and then you play worse, and then you feel worse. And then by the end of it, you're just trying to salvage something that sounds like music. So if at all possible, try to avoid that. So my second tip is to stay organized in your session. So if you're like me and you're recording by yourself, it's really frustrating when you have to get up from your recording spot and then have to go grab something, have to go get a tuner, have to go get your nail file or something like that, and it really messes with your mindset when you should be staying focused and trying to prepare for the recording session. So what I do is I usually on my desk will have everything from my nail file, my buffer, my guitar support, my handy little arm sock so I don't rub the French polish off my guitar. And I have a new set of Augustine Paragons that I've been playing for the last few days. I used them in a video earlier this week and they record really well. Coincidentally, I'm also experimenting with the same mic placement I did earlier this week. I did a video on the spaced pair and I really enjoyed the first variation that I did in that video. I haven't used that in a long time because I find it to be kind of imbalanced, but for some reason in that video, I don't know what I did, but I set it up in a slightly different way than I normally do, and I really like that sound, so I'm kind of trying to replicate that for this video. So behind me is probably my biggest secret weapon as far as organization goes, and that's an iPad that can control my DAW. I really hate recording right in front of my computer or laptop and then having to hit the spacebar, do another take, and it just it messes with my focus. Being able to control my DAW through my iPad lets me just focus on actually playing, and then I can control everything like my headphone mix and all that kind of stuff from the iPad, and I don't have to keep turning around and getting into my computer and messing with settings. I can just focus. And that's a really big tip. So if your DAW supports something like that, definitely use it. Now my third tip is probably the most obvious, but it bears repeating. When you're recording, stay relaxed. Try to stay in as happy of a mindset as you can. Even if the piece that you're playing is like some really dark thing, you're trying to play the chaconne and it's 15 minutes of misery and then happiness in the middle and then it's misery again, but it's happier at the end. Something like that. Try to stay in a positive mindset. Try not to judge your playing as you do it. Remember, you have multiple takes. You can do 2 takes, 3 takes, 5 takes. Don't try to do, more than 10 maybe in a sitting without taking a break. And if you're doing something epically long, take breaks. Try to stay relaxed while you're playing and you'll have a much better time recording. And you'll actually enjoy the recording process. If you don't do that, it can get really tedious. And like I said in the beginning, it kind of turns into quicksand and you'll end up kind of hating the recording. So now I'm gonna start recording myself. And then hopefully next week I have a finished music video for you guys to watch. I'll see you guys then.